If you want to absolutely maximize the impact of your career, then it makes sense to use all the tools that you have at your disposal to very best effect. And I'd hope you'd agree that one of the most important tools that you have is your LinkedIn profile. And in particular, I'd like to talk about the headline. The headline is the piece that you write underneath your name, right at the top of your LinkedIn profile. If you don't edit this to maximize its effectiveness, you will in fact have the default setting, which is going to be whatever you have as your job title in your current job. So in this short video, I'd like to talk about what are the key components of a really great headline and give you some examples as to what it might look like so that you could absolutely maximize its effectiveness. Hello, my name is Stephen Wright. I'm a career coach here at Career Mentor, and we help high-performing financial services professionals make their next smart career move. So let's get right into it. What are the key components of any great headline? Well, first of all, we want to know what your title is in terms of your rank. So we want, whether you're a VP, a director, managing director, whatever, that's a great starting point. Second thing is we want to give as much help as we can to the algorithms. So we want to maximize the use of keywords. Now, in order to find the keywords which are going to work best for you, it's very easy to experiment by putting various types of keywords into the search bar at the top of your page and see who comes up. And if those people are same or similar to you, then you found the right keywords. And if not, then carry on experimenting until you do find the right keywords for you. We also want to know what it is that you do, who you do it for, the value that you add, and also the firm that you're working for. So let's run through a few examples where I'll hope to illustrate what I'm talking about. Let's say we find a headline that says something like VP Morgan Stanley. Well, that's not really maximizing the headline at all. We know what level this person is, they're a VP, and we know that where they work, but not much more than that. So it's not particularly effective. Furthermore, there's no real keywords in there. Another version of it might be VP Mergers and Acquisitions, or M&A Morgan Stanley. That's better because now we know what field of endeavor you're in. But how about we were to say VP FIG, or Financial Institutions Group M&A? That's even better. So we know that you're a VP at Morgan Stanley, you're doing M&A, and you do Financial Institutions Group. Perhaps even better would be VP FIG M&A, focusing on UK banks and insurance firms, Morgan Stanley. That, I think, is a pretty good example of a headline. We know what your title is, it's full of keywords, we know exactly what it is that you do, the part of the market that you serve, and also which firm that you work for. So let me give you another example, and this is a little bit dated, but I think it makes a point nonetheless. I helped someone construct this headline, which was MiFID II expert consultant helping capital markets leaders turn regulatory change into competitive advantage. Now that's got some quite interesting elements in it. We know what title this person has, they're a consultant. We know what their field of expertise is. We know that they're an expert in regulatory change and in particular MiFID II. We know who this person is serving, not just people in capital markets, but we know the level because we said capital markets leaders. And we've also added another element here. We've added a value journey, from regulatory change to competitive advantage. So we're very clear about the value that this person adds to a business. So there are two examples. A couple of other things to say about headlines. Beyond using the one that you construct and not just using the default setting. And the reason why we don't particularly want to use a default setting that you have as part of your experience section for where you're currently working is because that default setting, that current description, may be a job title which you have internally. And it might be using language which everybody inside your current firm understands and accepts, but may not be broadly understood by the marketplace outside. So you want to be using language which is not unique to the firm that you're working for, but more broadly understood by the market outside. The other thing that I think I'd want to point out is not to try and use a scattergun approach. Meaning I found someone when I was doing some research on this yesterday, I found someone who had these elements in their keyword. They had something like mergers and acquisitions, FSG, they had transition, they had COO, and they had fintech. So they've just put a whole load of things in, and it's just diffusing and diluting the message. So we want to be a little bit more precise so that when someone reads that, they actually understand what it is that you do, who you do it for, the value that they can expect, and probably the level at which you're operating. That's going to make it much more easy for people to understand. The final thing to say is that you've got to think about the tone that you want to have. My headline is quite salesy, and that's actually the point of it. I want to be salesy because I want to attract new clients who want to work with my coaching services. And therefore there is a salesy tone to what I say in terms of the way in which I describe the value that I can add. So have a think about the tone that you strike when you create your headline out of all the elements that I've described here. I hope you found that useful. I'll be putting the blog that I wrote about this in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Please do hit the subscribe button and like this if you want to. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, please do feel free to like this, comment on it if I've missed anything, and of course share it with anybody who you feel might find it useful. Thanks very much.